Hi guys, I thought I would show my face very quickly for those of you who don't know who I am. So I'm the sales manager for Indigo. I'm here with my account manager Charlotte, and one of the head technical guys here, Boaz. And what we're going to be doing is running you through our system design tool. Okay. What I'll do is I'll do a quick screen share, and as you all know, it's a 30-minute session. So what I can do is just run you through this, and then what we'll do is have a question and answer sort of session at the end, and if there's time we'll maybe even have a quick look around the room because there's some quite cool speakers and quite cool kit in there that I know a lot of people like to see. So there's 21 of us on now, which is great. Thank you all so much for coming. I'm just going to dive right into it now, guys, and share my screen. So let me just exit out of my PowerPoint. Hopefully, if everything's going well, you should be seeing my Indigo distribution home screen. As I mentioned, what we're going to do is we're just going to very quickly start and show you around the Indigo website for those of you who maybe don't know much about ourselves or what it is we do. But we're essentially a trade AV supplier, obviously. We supply everything from HDMI cables and speaker cables all the way up to full home automation systems. So what you'll see here is just our simple home screen with some of the products that we actually supply. But most of the website is pretty self-explanatory. If you haven't got an account, please do go make one. You can have a look around. Brand section will simply jump you into each and every brand that we have. The product section you can browse by brand category or product category, sorry. So if it's home control or video distribution or speakers, whatever the case, maybe you can go from there. The explore section is where you can have a refer a friend, where you get 10% cash or 10% back off your next order. There's a wee bit of a testimonial section. There's a find installer. There's the very handy training and courses where you can go ahead and learn about our products, how you actually install them, configure them, and all that good stuff. There is a new cinema section, which I'm going to talk about at the end of the presentation, and about us and our reward scheme. The reward scheme, which is I personally believe second to none in the industry, but you can go and have a look for yourselves. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into how you go ahead and set up your profile section. And then jump into the system design tool. So this is available to yourselves whenever you log in. So you need to go and create an account with the Indigo distribution sign up section, and one of the accounts guys will be in touch and basically get you set up. It's a very quick and easy process. That's what Indigo distribution are about. We're trying to just make your lives that bit easier. Okay. So without further ado, we're going to just show you the account section. We get everything all set up. On the dashboard, you will see your reward section. So if you join up to one of our loyalty tiers, so bronze, silver, gold, platinum, you will see how much you're spending, how much you've got left to spend, what the brands are to spend, and what your rebate is going to be. As you can see, I haven't spent too much. The profile section is one of the main parts of this. This is where you want to set up your account. You're going to want to give your logo over, put it under the design tool. You're going to want to fill out some contact information, a bit of information about yourself, the website, the company. Then you're going to want to give a company description. And importantly, you want to set up your currency and your hourly rate. So obviously working in sterling, what it is you happen to bill yourself out at each hour. The reason for that is because all this information will pull through onto the system design tool and all the documentation that gives over to you. Okay. You can jump straight into the system design from here, or you can do it from the top. But before we do that, I just want to talk about some of the extra sections that you'll set up here. So custom products. This is aimed at products that we don't supply within Indigo. So everything in that design tool is pre-populated. So cable schedules, input outputs, product pricing, etc., images, all that good stuff. But this section is designed for stuff that we actually don't sell. So whatever it happens to be, I've just put in a couple of pre-done products here just to show you what it looks like. And to do that, you simply click on add a product. You will give it a product name, the retail price, the trade price, give it a product image, and then add the cable inside of things. So depending on what the product happens to be, you'll choose a cable type, and then you'll go ahead and choose the purpose of that cable. Okay, so it happened to be a speaker of one that we don't do. You would pick a speaker cable, so 16.2 for talk's sake, and then you can either have it user defined, or you can have a right speaker or left speaker if it's always going to be dedicated to that. And you simply add it there, and then decide if you want to have that only in the comms room or if you want to be able to access that from anywhere within the design tool. So setting that up is quite important for most projects. You can obviously manage your projects, and you can manage your maintenance contracts as well. So I've just put in 3 bronze, silver, gold for talk's sake. Again, these can be completely edited. You can add in features, you can change the features that I've already got here, you've already have with yourselves, and you can change the cost of that as well. And that again will pull through into the design tool if you need to add a maintenance contract. So it just makes it a nice, compact, easy to use system design and quoting tool. And then obviously there's the refer a friend as well, which I'm sure your account managers will be down to tell you about, so I'll not steal their thunder too much, but the more the better. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump into the design tool and just give you a bit of an overview of the interface. As you can see, I've got quite a few systems that I've already sort of worked on. Some of them are fake, some of them are real. For the purposes of this little tutorial, we're just going to go ahead and do a few designs and a few rooms and show you what it does and what it doesn't do. Okay, so you can simply start your project. You will give it a name. So for this, we will call it EI Live. If I could type, and I will go ahead and give it a customer name. So project name, customer name, and then priority. So inquiry only. It can be a confirmed project or an urgent project. From here, depending on the kind of design and kind of project that you're working for, you're quoting for, sorry, you can decide if it's got lighting. So we supply Rayco here within Indigo, and within Rayco you can have both a wired or wireless, or a hybrid sort of solution, or not applicable if it's maybe just a normal cinema room or whatever the case may be. So for this, what we're going to do on an initial is show you the full system design. I'm going to do a full audio-visual project. After that, you'll notice here that you've got, would you like to take advantage of the easy install by Indigo program? What this essentially is we want to be able to help you do your programming. So whenever you do the project on the design tool, you can submit that to our technical guys. We have 3 in-house technical support people who will help you program the Alan system and all the products that are going to be purchased through yourselves. So setting up IP addresses, bench testing the input outputs, and configuring the system based on what you key into this tool. What I would say is allow about 2 to 3 weeks for that to be done. So if you are doing it, we would expect you to give us a date really, and have a chat and a consultation with the actual guys before it leaves. So what you'll do is you'll go into the build section. As you'll notice, you've got comms room, which is blank. You have the ability to put in products here within the floors and rooms. What you'll notice straight off the bat, you can edit your floor name. So what I'm going to do is call it ground floor, and I will save that. And again, you can go ahead and duplicate that and then rename it if you want. What you'll want to do, or what I like to do, is manage the floor. What you can do is start to enable the rooms within that floor. So we'll just call it living room. We will give it a distance from the rack. So what this is starting to calculate your cable schedule and the cable distances, which will all pull in for you. You can give it a ceiling depth. And again, this tool will give best practice. So for talk's sake, if you have a shallow depth ceiling of maybe 120 mil or 150 mil, or whatever the case may be, and you pick a speaker within our portfolio that happens to be too deep, you will get an error message that flags up and just says there's a problem with this speaker, and it just kind of keeps you right. For talk's sake, in this project, in the living room, we're going to give it 1 Ethernet point, 1 phone point. You'll notice it mentions integrated audio visual. Essentially, this is referring to audio return within this room, okay? And you can have this as a yes or a no, depending if you're having that or not. The scope of works, or scope here, you can type in content, which will give you the ability to pull through onto your sales quote for both you and your client. So they will know why you're quoting, what it is you're quoting, what it all does, and however you need to, whatever content essentially you need to put into here. So for here, we will just simply fill it with some text, some test text, so that way you can see where it pulls into the sales quote. You'll also notice you have the ability to upload a photo. And this photo, for talk's sake, we'll just dump it into here. This will give you an idea. It's really handy for projects that are maybe a bit more long term, where you possibly won't remember rooms, or you just want to remember the project. And if there's any issues or any change in the room, it's always nice to dump it into there. And likewise, this will then pull through onto your designs too. Okay, so what we've done is we've managed this particular room within the ground floor. Now you want to go and populate it. I personally like to start to populate my designs with the rooms and then go into the comms room, but truth be told, you can do it either way. Okay, so I'm just going to go into product, And this is where you'll start to populate some products. So it's a simple living room, and I'm just going to go ahead and put 2 ceiling speakers, a touch screen, a remote, and a TV, just to show you what we would do. Okay, so for talk's sake, normal living room is going to put some ceiling speakers. We have the option of clips or LAN ceiling speakers within our portfolio. What I would suggest is, well, for this particular project, I'm going to put clips. Standard options, you've got 4-inch, 6.5 inch, 8-inch, where you've got some of the commercial range. Within this, we'll just put a normal project and we'll do 6.5 inch speakers. What you're seeing here is your products that are in stock. Normally this is completely in stock across the board, but with COVID times it's a little bit lighter, shall we say. And what you've got here is your retail pricing, because we're in client facing mode. So you could literally do this with your client there and then and show them the products and the prices, and they can pick which ones they want. Likewise, whenever you're in the trade mode, which you'll see whenever it changes red here, you get your trade price and XVAT and your retail and your margin. And again, it'll say what's in stock and what's not. So what we'll do is just add simply 2 DS speakers. So this is the middle of the road speaker, perfect for background audio from clips. I'm going to add in 2. And as you'll see, it starts with input 1. Once you add 2 or 4 or 10, it would change those inputs. And what that allows you to do is label. So left speaker, right, RGST speaker. Apologies. And you can label them anything you want. And again, once you start labeling this, all of the stuff that we're doing here will then automatically pull into your cable schedules and all that good information that will be spat out at the other end here. What you'll notice is you'll have the ability to override the product name. I'm sure everyone here has experienced at one stage or another where a client has wanted to shop around based on product or based on the particular model, eBay and the likes. So what we've done is give you the ability to go and override that name. So what you could do is call them, for talk's sake, package deals. You know, this could just simply be a bronze speaker. Okay, and likewise you can have, sorry, apologies. And likewise you can call it whatever you need to. Installation time is by minutes, so number of products that you've put into here by the number of minutes times by what you keyed in as your hourly rate at the within the account section. Okay, so getting that right will pull everything all in. Let's say you want to add a TV. You can add in a simple IR TV, and I'm just going to do this very quickly. Let's call it simply TV, quantity 1. Because we don't particularly sell TVs here at Indigo, we will give you the option to put in whatever it is you need to put in, so IR or IP. So for talk's sake, we're just going to say £200 at £200 at trade, £300 at retail, and that'll pull in. Do global video feeds, feed into this TV. For this, we're going to just keep this nice and simple, as if there's stuff in the room, sources into the room. Okay, IR control is going to be either a remote. If it was global video feeds, that will be in relation to an audio or sorry, video matrix, and you would go ahead and then give you the option of a matrix balun, and then it would give you the option of the HDBaseT side of things. But we're just going to keep it nice and quick for this purpose. And again, installation time, we'll just give it a PC sum for this, and we'll just give it 60 minutes. And I want to add in a remote. What I've done so far is click on the options here, so speaker, TV, home cinema package, security, whatever it is. However, if you know what SKU it is you're wanting, or the product it is you're wanting, for talk's sake, I might want a remote, so an HR10 say. You can start to type in SKU, you'll see what it is, and you'll go ahead and select that. And again, instead of having the HR10 present as the actual product code, you can just call this a remote for the client. Quantity 1, installation / programming, say 20 minutes. And what you've done is you've built up a living room, maybe excluding the lighting side of things, which I'm going to show you after. If you want, you can go ahead and add in the new feature under speakers, and you can give them upgrade or downgrade options. So you can have option 1, 2, or 3, and at the end of the design, you can go ahead and show them this is what it would cost to upgrade, these are your options, and likewise for downgrade, and I'll show you that in a few minutes. So for talk's sake on this, I'm going to go ahead and just give you one upgrade option as an example. So I will add in one of these just for now. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and save that project, or save that room, sorry. So what I'm going to do very quickly, I'm going to put in a LAN processor to be able to control the TV, and we can call that processor. I want to go very quickly because I realize we're about halfway through and I've got quite a lot to get through. So you've seen how you build up the room very briefly. I'm just going to add in some more bits and bobs here too. So we're going to go with a LAN. I'm going to go with a video source. So Toxic Sky HD, and I will just leave this in installation times. And what we've got, we've built up a comms rack, a few bits in there, and we've built up a few bits in the floor as well. Now, if you want to go ahead and duplicate the floor, you can simply duplicate it, and everything that'll be pulled in here will be pulled in. Likewise, you'll also be able to do that. So if, for talk's sake, you had 4 bedrooms and you wanted to duplicate them all because they all had a bit of lighting, a couple of speakers, TVs, and touchpads, and they were all the same, you could duplicate the floor or duplicate each individual room, and then go ahead and rename them if you want. Okay. For talk's sake, that's just a quick design. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back and I'm going to show you some of the options here. And I'll show you a larger project that at the end here that will actually give you an idea of what this tool can actually do. Okay, so what you'll see is you can continue building. You can simply order products if you wish to do that, and it will pull in everything that you've got in here. Or if you want to continue shopping, you can do that by brand or category, and you can go ahead and simply proceed to checkout. Okay. You can also go back and you will see that you've got a Rayco schematic, and I'm going to show you the Rayco lighting in a minute. And you've got a RASOF file too, which again I'll show you in a few minutes. For this project, you can order, you can go into the cable schedule, and you will see a bit of information again pulled in from the back end of the profile section, your logos, etc., etc. And you'll also see, as you can tell here, there's already a number of cables that have been pulled in just by the few products that we've added in. So for talk's sake, the speakers, so simple speakers, given me a best practice cable type of a 16.2 speaker cable. It's given me the purpose of that cable because I've keyed that in to tell it what it is, and it's given me the location of the cable and where it's going to go back to, and then finally the length of the cable based on that room. Okay, so the more you key in and the bigger the project you have, the more information that this will do, and it'll become very, very quick, and it's a very, very powerful tool. And at the end, it'll also total up the the length in meters of each cable that you need to do your project. You can also do it in CSV if you want to go ahead and edit colors and bits and bobs like that. But to be honest, PDF works and it's very, very nice. There's very few items that I've actually added into this one, but the network map will give you a bit of an idea of what this is. So you can go ahead and download the network map, either PDF or CSV. It's entirely up to yourselves. And what you'll get is a best practice map for your project of where you need to put all of your IP products. So for this project, we had a processor, a remote control, and a Sky HD box, and it said put all these products on these IP addresses, and you'll have absolutely no conflicts and no problems. And what it's nice as well is you can hand this document over to whoever's doing your networking. Should the client have a network engineer or a networking company doing this as third party, and you can go, guys, I need you to have all of these products on this IP address to make sure my project works well. Or if for talk's sake the project sort of got wiped out for whatever reason, you know, maybe a power cut or a surge or whatever the case may be, you can just go back to this and refer to it and just key all these products into the right areas, and you've got your products there and there, basically back up and active. Okay. You have a user guide, and again, the more you key into this user guide will become much more powerful. It's very Elan focused because we're obviously an Elan distributor here. But what you'll get is, for anybody who's doing a Elan project, you'll get a welcome page and you'll get a overview of how to use the system. So I'll show you a proper project after this, but it pulls this information in. It just makes it a very nice supplement to the project, and it makes it a really nice handover document as well whenever you're giving it to your client. So Mr. Customer, Miss Customer, this is how you actually use your system. So because we've put Elan remotes into it, it brings you the remote. The HR10 was the one we used, and it's populated, and it just makes that proposal that you're giving over that bit more professional and slick. Okay, I'm just going to wipe out these tabs. Finally, you get the nice sales quote. Okay, within this section, you've got the ability to up or down your labor rates depending on what you think or feel it will take. At the minute, it's calculated 3 minutes. Sorry, it's calculated the hours at 3 hours 33 minutes. If you felt that was going to take a lot longer, you can add additional hours in, or you can change your labor rate as well. And again, it calculates it just nicely, done quickly, and it's on the fly. And whenever it turns out that it happens to be £216.50, you can go ahead and put that in at your labor cost. Within the options here, you've got labor costs, cable costs, both at retail and installer mode, and you can offer a monetary pound discount should you need to. You can obviously present this as a VAT or non-VAT if you wish, and you can add in miscellaneous products as well. So anything that you might think about at the end, or any extra products that you feel go into projects, as they always do, you can add them in there as additional costs. Then you can give it a really nice cover page, depending on the project. Let's just pick one at random, and a nice color scheme. And then if there's a maintenance contract in place that they want to go with, you can pick one, or you can just leave it blank. So for talk's sake, I'll just pick this one, and I'm going to go and save that. Luckily, everything here auto saves, which is a really nice feature. Within this, you can drag and drop these pages and move them around if you wish, or make them unavailable, but we've made it as standard, just available. Okay, so at the minute I am in client mode. If I tick retail, or sorry, if I tick the option here, it goes red and it goes in installer mode, and that's straight expat. So I'm just going to leave it at retail mode for now, and I'm going to go and view the quote. And this is what you can go ahead and hand over to your client. So obviously, if you put your logo and your company information, it'll all pull through into here. And as you can see, it pulls in all the information, and this is the layout of the project, okay, the layout of the quote. Then what you've got down here, as we touched on earlier, was the upgrade path. So it tells the client what the upgrade option is for that particular room, how much it's going to cost, and overall how much it will cost to upgrade. And if they say yes, that's great. You simply go back into your sales quote and you tick the upgrade button, and it'll just upgrade those speakers automatically. And it's very, very quick, and it's very, very easy. You get obviously your totals and your subtotals and all that good stuff, and then the total obviously upgrade as well, and then your maintenance contract at the end. So it's a very quick overview of what the design tool looks like. I'm going to just quickly show you a Revit Lighting side of things. The Revit Lighting stuff is very, very cool. So I'm going to go ahead and just simply go back into this and make a very quick project. The beauty of the Revit Lighting is that it will give you a executable RASOF file where you dump onto the Revit bridge. For those of you who do Revit, it's a very, very handy tool. I'm just going to pick wired and wireless and hybrid, and I'm going to go lighting only, and you've got the option here of going room by room or quick quote. The room by room option gives you the ability to label each of your circuits, which I'll just quickly show you now. So I'm going to be very fast with this one. I'm going to add in the products. I'm not going to set this room up too much, but I'm going to add in products. Wired products gives you the options: dimming, switching, keypads, accessories, etc., etc. So I'm going to pick dimming modules in the wired solution, and what you get with that is the Revit WMT400, which is a dimmer. And I'm going to go ahead and just simply add in 11 of these just to show you. You would label the circuit names here, and you go ahead and add the products. Our tool goes one further, and it does best practice. It pulls in 2 rack 8s, it pulls in a link to power them, and it pulls in the hub to be able to go ahead and program it and control it. And it just keeps you right. Okay, from there you can go back, and I would add in keypads, etc., etc., and it'll show you a much more impressive schematic, but it gives you this, and it would show, obviously, as I say, the cat cable and etc., etc. It gives you a nice wee legend to understand what's happened, and it gives you this to hand over to whoever's pulling the cables for you. And obviously, had we have labeled the rooms, it would give you that too. All those names would just simply pull in, and then obviously you've got the really impressive executable file. So if you had done a massive project, this would spit out and you just dump it on. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to show you the final option, because we've only got 30 minutes, and truth be told, we could have talked about this a lot more, but it's just a quick crash course, and I'd love to talk to you all properly about it after this, or anytime you get free. Me and the other sales reps within Indigo would love to chat to you. So the new update is the cinema. So we have got a cinema builder section that's based around the Clips brand, and we hope it's going to be really useful and really easy for you guys to understand. So for talk's sake, what you've got here is cinema bundles, and then you can do it by cinema products, so individually products, and you can just pick what we deem to be a best practice solution. So for talk's sake, you can grab one of these guys here. You can add this to the basket, so you can see my basket is empty at the minute. I can have 1 or 2 or 3 of these. I can completely customize it if I wish, so I can remove products, I can add products, and I can tinker with it to the best, or to the requirements of the room. And once I get it right, I can simply add it to the basket, and then all of the products will pull in, and you can go ahead and simply order them or change them or do whatever it is that you need to do for them. Okay, and likewise, if we take a step back, you'll notice that there is other options here, not just the full big all singing, all dancing cinema room. It's just going to be a bit slow, apologies. You have options for 2.1s and 3.1s and all kinds of abilities there, or all kinds of options. Or likewise, you can go ahead and just start from complete scratch and build your own package up. and it gives you your retail, your margin, and your trade pricing. That's based on all the products that we have within the system. Okay, so my throat is starting to go a little bit, but what I want to do is, I've seen there's a few messages were popping up. What I want to do is just turn it over to yourselves, see if there's any questions to be answered, and then if there's any time, I'll show you the full designs. Actually, do you know what? Tell you what, just before we do that, I'm just going to show you an exact design. Let me go into system design, show you one that I prepared earlier, shall we say? I'll just do my own house. Okay. So what do we get with a large cable schedule on a large project is something like this, and I hope you all find it impressive because I do. So this took about, I would say, the guts of about 30 minutes to do, because it took me about 30 minutes to make this project, and instantly I got this, which I can hand over to anybody who's going to do the cable pulling for me. And as you see, it's just very, very detailed, very easy to read, and it's just a really nice, impressive document, color coded, labeled, etc., etc. User guide as well. I'll show you a few more images within the user guide. So within this, there's a number of different options, and it just makes that a LAN home automation proposal so much more impressive. And you just keep going, and adds in lighting, etc., etc. Okay, so I've probably taken up more than enough of your time. I'm going to jump quickly into some questions. I think I'm going to stop my screen here, or let me have a look. Let me have a look here. So, having some technical difficulties with this PowerPoint. Apologies, guys. So tell you what, let's park the PowerPoint. Let's have a look at some of these questions. Boaz and Charlotte, you've both been online. Have you been keeping up to date with the questions coming in?
Yeah, no questions as of yet, guys. So yeah, if you have anything to ask, anything to say, go ahead, fire away.
Okay, cool. Bound to be a few questions out there. There must be. I'm sure I didn't answer half of that. Although I know a lot of people are probably driving, watching this whilst there's other things going on, so I'll not feel bad. Let's have a look. No, there's nothing in there. I thought there was questions. Oh well, there's a couple of comments I see. Okay, guys. Well, listen, we're on 28 minutes now. I know David's keen to keep this to the 30 minutes, and I don't want to disappoint. So if you have any questions, I'm going to wrap it up. But other than that, hopefully we will see you all signing up to the Indigo website, indigodistribution.com or .co.uk, sorry, /sign in. And we'll all have a wee chat with you properly and take you through this in a much more one-to-one detailed examples. Okay. I think, yeah, that's me done, guys, I think. No questions. Okay. Cool. I'm happy, David. That's if you want to jump in with anything.
That is fine. Thank you very much, Indigo.
Thank you.
No worries.
Have a nice day.
You too.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.